Hi guys, welcome to the bonus video. I'm Shaman Azul, the guy, and I'm the guy in your corner about preparing quality of life for people. So this is an old board we created, and it's to give you some food for thought about different ways to bootstrap a quality of life for people. All right, we're going to talk about the base components that you can revert back to anytime you come across any adversity. These are things you can always fall back on. So base components, one idea is a recipe bank. Now, this is more than just recipes of food to cook and cost effective meals. So this is more than a teriyaki chicken recipe, hamburgers you bake in the oven, bratwurst you bake in the oven, Hungry Man meals you store in the freezer, bread you like to make, and just these cost effective groceries, eggs, and milk where you can use to make different mixes and recipes you pick up from many trips to the grocery store where you discover cost effective ways to grocery shop and cook, which can save you a lot over time. It's more than just recipes for cooking, it's recipes for how you want to go about recipes for when you wake up in the morning, what you do with your calendar, recipes for how you go about problem solving or reviewing the budget, reviewing your spending plan and what you're doing with your income and what you're doing with your calendar. This is a recipe bank that you're creating yourself to know, okay, this is how I do things. This is my code for organizing time, for this is my work schedule. It's when I wake up, the reason I wake up this early, and work time's blocked out. This is what I will spend on, what I won't spend on, and here's why, because we've done the meaningful math, which we'll get to in a little bit. And it's it's creating processes of how you're used to doing things repeatedly. So I'll give you some ideas here, and you can tailor them to how you like to live life. And I hope some of this saves you from some pain and gives you food for thought on how to create your own recipes for life. There we go. All right. So the next base component of bootstrapping and quality of life is when we think about, okay, what does a group need? What does a group depend upon to get through this that makes up this quality of life? Groceries and pantry reserves. Personally, we wind up hiding food. It's just a habit we've picked up over time because food, food is fuel, and it when you find the right grocery stores, you can start to see how far a paycheck actually goes in certain grocery stores, and then you can start to stockpile food and set it aside so that whenever there's an unexpected event, you've got it set aside and you know you can make a certain amount of time covered because you're just in the habit of tucking food away or whatever it may be. Groceries and pantry reserves. So this comes back to the recipe bank a little bit in time where I don't know what sort of diet you like to have, but there's options. This can be tailored to any recipes, but let's say there are 8 to 10 recipes that you love: teriyaki chicken, hamburgers, bratwurst. Um, if there's a specific diet you're following, you can find recipes for that. And when you have 8 to 10 recipes, you can cycle through the month, and you know the cost of those groceries and the time it takes to cook. It helps with your planning so much better because you can say, all right, well, if I've got this predictable income and groceries cost this much, then it'll it'll use this much of the budget to get groceries and pantry reserves. And then there's the confidence of, okay, you know you're eating well and it's not costing you an arm and a leg because you're strategically picking the grocery stores, you're strategically picking the recipes, and you have this routine of, okay, I can always fall back on these recipes. I can always cook away a few Hungry Man in the freezer and whatever, or potatoes. Potatoes are a great tool. Potatoes, lasagna, potatoes, pasta, uh, what else? Hamburgers and bratwurst, chicken's very cost effective. A lot of recipes for that. Basically, so that you have the confidence of saying, okay, it's more than just us we're feeding, even though we can get there. It will raise the confidence in knowing you can feed a group on a cost effective basis when you know the recipes and you've just had practice with it. So, our recommendation is practicing at least 2 to 3 recipes. And what we'll actually do for you guys is we'll write out some recipes that you can download that we use pretty frequently. There's a teriyaki chicken recipe. Hamburgers can be cooked in the oven at 400 degrees if they're frozen, or at, if they're frozen or thawed. You can Google recipes in your phone. So whatever you're looking to do, it can be searched in Google, and you can say, all right, this is, and then practice it. With practice, your confidence will build up. Your confidence will build up as you practice things. So the next base component of bootstrapping quality of life is a predictable income with predictable expenses when dialed in. So don't want you to get discouraged because this may take a few months. So if you have a job you don't like, I actually do like mine right now, but the the point is we're not disparaging any income because it lets us do what we're looking to do from here. It's it's valuable because it lets us eat, gives us housing, gives us things to work with. The whole paradigm is it sets us up with things to work with. So we can value it and do our part. Once you have this as part of your routine, you know, okay, I make about X amount every week. Groceries can do it with however much you feel like putting into groceries, and it can sort of be tailored to how you like it, and then month after month, the leftover piece can be directed towards your other goals. So you can then tweak the variables based on your goals and some of your savings goals for any future goals you may have. And we'll get into some of the other recommendations on the right side of the board. Okay, all right. So the personal skills is another thing that'll help strengthen your routine and strengthen your ability to handle adversity. If if you decide on some personal skills that you'd like to work on whenever you have downtime, whether it's communication skills. Frankly, we struggle with communication skills. However, there's cost-effective books on it. You can go to Half Price Books Outlet, Udemy. Google. There's a lot of free courses, say Free Code Camp. There's a number of one paradigm we have is you're never out of options. Okay, you're never out of options. You just have to find a workaround, and you can do that by regulating entertainment and focusing on developing your skills. Whatever skill you want, you can develop it. And if you view life a bit as a boxing ring where there's is where you're somewhat in a fight for resources for your people, and it's not designed to hurt anybody, but there are forces that we're gonna have to go 10 rounds with. And if you're prepared to go 10 rounds with taxes and working for income and making the time to cook, making the time to grocery shop, and building the routines that help design life the way you want with the people you value, then you're in a better position to bootstrap a quality life and protect a quality life once you built it. So this next section we're gonna get into is the work engine to build confidence. Now this is a sample schedule that you can tailor to help you build confidence on the back end. One key piece we've learned is the work we do today is what we harvest tomorrow. So for our people tomorrow. So there could be a couple weeks where where your schedule doesn't show results until maybe weeks or months later, but it's still worth it because it sets it up to come in. It's driving your ship towards the harbor. All right. So the sample schedule here is having a regular job or a regular source of income. I think is integral while you're working on other projects. You there's enough time in the day for us to get what we want done if we work for it. So here's what we wound up doing for a while, just to get momentum and be able to move out and do and have a baseline of security, and then continue to work towards a quality of life. So you guys may not want to hear this, but waking up early gives us such a competitive edge. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if we wake up between 4 and 6 a.m., getting up early allows you to have more hours to work with, and just it gives you more to work with, gets you in the routine of getting up early, gets you in the routine of being able to handle longer days, and then you can fit more into your days. So the sample schedule is waking up at 4 a.m. At 5 a.m. you can either work out, education, or entertainment. This time before work is your time to do with as you please. You want some options are workout, education, or working on a project. If you're working on something, say a book or a personal project, something you deeply care about and that energizes you, this time before work can be your extra time. It can be your time to get it done before the workday comes and we're doing what we've got to do. We got to do to keep the engine running, to keep things going well, to keep the to keep enough to work with is during the workday, and then I recommend extra work before and after so that later on we're okay and you can continue to bootstrap this quality of life. Okay, well, then let's say we're at our job from 7 to 3 or 3:30, 4 p.m. However long it is, you've got this block of time where you're at work, and then afterwards you can eat because one thing for fuel while you're in this pursuit is it can take a lot of work and it can take a lot of energy. So regularly eating is a big mood changer, is a big mood boost. And if you have these systems in place to stay to eat regularly, whether it's a food truck at lunch or cooking regularly and packing enough, eating regularly keeps our mood up. And it's tough to explain why, but it's something we've really noticed it. And when there's long work days and we sweat a lot or whatever it may be, regularly eating just keeps your mood up. Okay, and then from 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday, working on your personal skills helps you hone things to be of more value to the community. So, whatever skill it is, if it's banjo playing, if it's practicing cooking, if it's practicing your writing skills, the, the, there's no shortage of time if we plan it and properly execute it. Okay. Then on say Saturday or Sunday, highly recommend working Saturdays simply because it can increase the amount you have to work with when income comes in, and it just gets you used to working 6 days a week, which gets you stronger for the things you got to do. That we've got to do. All right. But you can also plan in this. This is a jukebox. So time with friends, maybe having a picture, music, whatever you want to do. There's once the work is done, go nuts. We can do our thing. All right. And then 9 to 10 p.m. There's TV and reading. It's totally your call. This leaves you 6 hours of sleep, and then because we're human, we can do our best through the week. And one thing you just think of is a cumulative scoreboard over the weeks. So it may not seem like much the first week you're doing it, the second week you're doing it, maybe even the fourth week you're doing it. But once this becomes a part of who you are and it becomes a part of how you tackle life, this this muscle you're building can serve you whenever an unexpected event comes up. And it helps you get back into a position of strength with through regular work and just working enough. All right. There's the recipe bank. Oh, and you can also one of the system is you can create leftovers for the week. So a sample idea is on Sunday. You make lasagna. There's the Barilla box has details on it. All it takes is pound of gram ham, a pound of ground beef, the Barilla box, maybe some ricotta cheese and other cheeses if you want. The whole details are there, and then it can last you through the week. It can last you through the week. So here's a it's a sample weekly schedule that puts you in a position of strength, and you can tweak as you please. Key points are make sure we're working enough. Waking up early can give you a competitive edge. Remember to eat regularly, and planning your time in chunks. So there's time we got to give to work, and time where you can work on what you want to work on, what lights you up, what energizes you. All right. So now we're on to insurance plans and contingency plans. The bullet point here is auditing every week, and the idea of 1 ounce of prevention is worth a pound of the cure. We want to kill the monsters when they're small. I believe we heard from Tony Robbins, if we remember right. Anyways, this insurance plans and contingency plans. So you can never have enough insurance plans. You can never have enough contingency plans. You can never have enough stashes of whatever you want to set aside to help you sleep at night. Okay. What we mean by auditing every week and an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of the cure is the one example is going to work regularly so that you know we're preventing you're preventing a lack of income by doing what you got to do. And and another ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cures. Um, Not spending all your money on anything. So one of the key point that we kind of got caught up with is if we can think of income as life points for our group, and if we take a hit, there's we want to have enough life points set aside where we can take a few hits and still have enough life points for our group. And we sound a little silly and plan on describing it this way. However, if we can think of them as food points, life points, and protection points, then 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 it'll help us stave off unnecessary purchases because we can say, okay, I'm trading health points for our group for a toy or a game or something something that wouldn't necessarily nourish the group, like hamburgers or a teriyaki chicken or whatever we're looking to do. And then we can audit our time as well so that we don't look back in whenever we look back and say, oh, we should did this differently, we should did that differently. No, we're constantly reviewing if we're on track and if we need to course correct. Okay. Now here's something that we think will really have well, hope helps you a bunch. Is an exercise called doing the meaningful math in advance. And you can do this exercise multiple times. What this is saying before the income comes in, we're going to do the meaningful math about what matters to us personally and writing out the things that we care about, say must happen, and we're determining what makes up this quality of life. So it says a simple legal pad balance sheet exercise is great for this. The reason is before we moved out, we took a legal pad, and on the legal pad we were able to write the items that had personal meaning of making up the quality of life. It's included rent, groceries, car insurance. It's been a while, but say if there's an educational course that has a subscription for you, and it has meaning to you because it's part of these personal skills that will help you box with life, that'll help you achieve a skill set which will help you with your other goals. Doing the meaningful math in advance helps you put a number to each item monthly. And what this does is it allows you to say, okay, if if we make X a month, and if we make X a month, and we can live off Y a month, that might allow Z to be workable for our other goals. And then we can see how we can tweak the variables to bootstrap a higher quality of life. And doing the meaningful math in advance gives you a picture of where things will go before the money comes in and we can make mistakes with it. So what it does is it allows you to nobody else has to be nobody this exercise is only for you and for you to see these are the things I care about, these are what they're going to cost, and here's how I can distribute things to accomplish this. Then before the temptation comes in, you've already got the math done, and you've already got things written out about where you want to direct things before any temptation arises, and you've got a written plan about the meaningful math and the things that hold meaning to you, spelled out with numbers, and you can gain momentum through the months with repeating this meaningful math exercise. Okay, the next idea is a sock money. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen shows or whatever where they've got some sock money tucked away. Let's say you're going to Vegas or you're just out on a trip, and the idea of sock money is is held dear because it's another contingency plan set in place where nobody has to know about it. It's not advertised sock money. It's emergency sock money. It doesn't necessarily literally have to be in your sock, but it's tucked away somewhere so that if we have to be called upon, it's there. And then it's just a practice of okay, there's maybe not today, but at some point when we're able to set aside sock money, let's do it. Okay? And sometimes we do. Anyways, I don't know how we got on that tangent, but it's just an idea that keeps you and our people protected. All right. Okay, this next bullet point is WFP, which I believe was work, working validated plans, working validated recipes that you've proven to yourself. Going to a certain store, spending a certain amount on groceries, going to work at the same place each week, so that the stress becomes predictability to the numbers, and you can go from there. Is greater than the opportunity of a lifetime. So one thing we've noticed is opportunities of a lifetime to get rich or do whatever can wipe out all the hard work we've done. And as long as it's a ratio of our savings, then you're still protected. If it's a ratio of your savings that you're happy with and it doesn't use up all your savings, again, we never run out of money, then you can go for it. But sometimes just steadily doing the work is greater than investing in the opportunity of a lifetime that could clean out or just erase all the hard work that you've done. Okay, so it's one thing to think of is it's not you never get one chance. You can build it. You get there are many opportunities if we're working hard, and you can go. You don't have. There's never a closing window that will just. I mean, sure. Sure, there are timelines that it might come around next year. However, the opportunity of a lifetime does not beat steadily working. Okay, and 90% off isn't always a deal if it doesn't fit into your plan. So if something's not on your meaningful math list, what you will spend on, what you value, what you care about, and what you won't spend on, even if it's 90% off, if it's on the list of what we've decided to ourselves we won't spend on, then it may not be a deal. And you can redirect things to the things you said we decided we will spend on and invest in, and therefore go from there. The quote we wrote here was Rome wasn't built in a day, but it burned in one. The reason we wrote this down is because we don't want this to happen to you, where there's been months and months of work, months and months of saving and working and doing all these things, and we want to see it wiped out in one investment or whatever, where we're never going back to zero because we have these power routines. Now, Rome was built in a day because we don't want you to get discouraged and realize that this could take months, this could take years. However, if you're steadily gaining ground and protecting that ground, then you can value what you've built over time, and we're able to stay in a position of strength because over time we've developed these recipes. And the reason Rome was built in a day but burned in one is because it could take a lot of work over a long time. However, once it's built, then it's just a game of making sure that nothing burns down what we've built. And we can research ways of doing that. It can be not wearing flashy clothes so we're not a target, um, tucking things away and not talking about it, uh, not not being flashy and just simply working so that we're not a target. Okay. And then the last point we can leave you with is if the farm isn't at risk, you can't lose it and sleep easy. So if you're not risking the farm, if you're not risking the paycheck, and you may have to wait a little bit for it to come in, but if you're not risking the farm, you can't lose it and you can sleep easy. You think of the time it takes to re-earn a paycheck or to re-earn the work we've done. And if we don't risk it, we can't lose it. Hope you enjoy the video and we'll create more We'll get recipes. If you have any questions, you can email them to makefamilyplan@gmail.com. And if you have any questions at all, just please bring them up. If we forgot a topic or you want us to go over any topic a little more in depth, just have an extended conversation about it, feel free to reach out. Hope you have a great day. Take care.